The purpose of this training video is to give guidance to the safety in the use of abrasive wheels. In particular, the prevention of injury resulting from wheel breakage or contact with a running wheel. This video is based on the information contained in the HSE publication Safety in the Use of Abrasive Wheels HSG 17, which is readily available as a download from the HSE website. It should be noted that to fully understand the duties of everyone using abrasive wheels, the guidance contained in this video should be assimilated in conjunction with the Pure 98 approved code of practice. The primary objective of Pure 98 is to ensure that workplace equipment, including abrasive wheels, does not give rise to risk to health and safety, regardless of the work equipment's age, condition or origin. As the name suggests, an abrasive wheel is a wheel consisting of abrasive particles bonded together with various substances. Because of this construction, the risk of breakage is inherent in every abrasive wheel, no more so than when it's being operated unsafely. Accident statistics indicate that nearly half of all accidents involving abrasive wheels are due to an unsafe system of work or operator error. Abrasive wheels are used in the process of grinding, fettling and cutting off a whole range of different materials. And this training video will cover the characteristic of abrasive wheels, the correct way to mount an abrasive wheel, the safe use of grinding and cutting off machines, including the importance of machine guards. Also covered is the control of dust and personal protective equipment. Machines using abrasive wheels can be extremely useful, time-saving and versatile, but they're definitely not without their hazards. Be under no illusion, abrasive wheels do burst or shatter, that is, breaking into thousands of small pieces while rotating at high speed, and in doing so can cause very serious harm. In addition, there's the danger from flying particles, which can cause eye injuries and possibly lead to fire, dust which can damage your lungs, excessive noise, skin contact and hand-arm vibration. It is essential therefore that you should have received training in all aspects of abrasive wheel safety before mounting an abrasive wheel or using an abrasive wheel machine. In fact, it's the law under Pure 98. If you ever feel unsure about your own safety or the safety of others when using abrasive wheel machines, be sure to check with your supervisor or manager. Selecting the right abrasive wheel for the machine you're using and the material you're working with is most important. What follows is the characteristic of abrasive wheels and their marking system. An abrasive wheel is usually defined as a wheel made up of abrasive particles bonded together, and there are two main types of bonding agent: inorganic and organic. Inorganic bonds are generally fired in a furnace to produce a strong, hard but brittle wheel. These wheels are used for precision grinding work as they hold their shape very well but do require regular dressing. Organic bonds are not fired but are cured at low temperature, the bonding agents typically being resin, rubber and shellac. Such wheels are tough, shock resistant and self-dressing and are most suited to non-precision work, for example rough grinding and cutting off. The following are the variable elements in abrasive wheel manufacture as outlined in HSE HSG 17 and detailed in BS ISO 525 1999. All these are represented on the wheel face within the specification mark, together with all relevant information as specified in BS EN 12413. Abrasive means the type of abrasive used in the wheel construction and represented by an A for aluminium oxide or a C for silicon carbide. Grain or grit size is the particular size of the abrasive, and this is denoted by a number ranging from 4, very coarse, to 1200, very fine. The grade represents the tenacity with which the bonding material holds the abrasive grain in a wheel. Wheels are graded as soft or hard according to their degree of tenacity. The grade scale is expressed in letters from A, extremely soft, to Z, extremely hard. Letters A to Z for bench machines and L to M for portable machines, where P, Q, R, S, T are the most used. Structure means the level of porosity in the wheel. The higher the number, the greater the level of porosity. Bond type means the bonding used in the wheel construction, where V is for vitrified and B is for bonded. If the bonding is reinforce, an F follows the B. Restriction of use. RE1, not permitted for handheld and manual guided grinding. RE2, not permitted for handheld cutting off machines. RE3, not suitable for wet grinding. RE4, only permitted for totally enclosed working area. RE6, not permitted for face grinding. Expiry date. All organic bonded wheels for handheld machines will bear a use-by date of 3 years from the date of manufacture. There should also be a manufacturer's code number which is traceable. Dimensions of the wheel in millimeters. Maximum operated speed. This is the maximum manufacturer's permissible speed in meters per second, m/s, and revolutions per minute, rpm, for wheels larger than 80 mm in diameter. Wheels with speeds of 50 m/s and above usually display a color-coded band. Mounting instruction. Correct mounting is essential to prevent wheel vibration. Always be sure to use the right machine for the job in hand, and never be tempted to mount abrasive wheels on makeshift apparatus, like a portable electric drill for example. Many accidents still occur today due to wheels being mounted on homemade or improvised apparatus. Pedestal grinders should be heavily built and mounted on good foundations. Bench grinders should be securely anchored to a stout bench. There are 3 main types of portable and handheld abrasive wheel machines. Electric machines. The largest number of abrasive wheels used are those found on handheld machines, and the most common of these are electric powered. Only use organic bonded wheels with these machines. All portable electric machines should comply with BS EN 60745-2-3 2011. Safety of handheld motor-operated electric tools. Safety particular requirements for grinders, polishers and disc-type sanders. The preferred voltage for these machines on construction sites is 110 volts. However, if a 240 volt supply has to be used, then the supply to portable machines should be protected by an RCD. Internal combustion machines. These machines, usually powered with petrol engines, are mainly used for cutting operations using reinforced resin-bonded abrasive wheels or diamond and CBN wheels. The relevant structures are outlined in the BS EN 19432 2008. Building construction machinery and equipment. Portable handheld internal combustion engine driven cut-off machines. Safety requirements and testing. One particular safety hazard with this type of machine is overspeeding, which may be due to a number of causes. Nevertheless, under no circumstances should the speed marked on the wheel be exceeded. Irrespective of the type of machine, the maximum speed of the spindle should be marked on every machine so that it's easy to compare the speed marked on the wheel with the speed marked on the machine. On every machine, the means of stopping and starting the machine should be clearly marked. On portable machines, the on-off control should be positioned so there is no risk of accidental starting when placing the machine on a flat surface. The proper maintenance of abrasive wheel machines is also important. Machine bearings in particular should be maintained in good condition, free from play and adequately lubricated. Loose bearings will produce vibration in the abrasive wheel, which could eventually cause the wheel to burst. Likewise, making sure that the machine maintains its design rotation speed is an important maintenance requirement, and therefore all machines should be regularly checked by the use of an optical tachometer to determine the actual speed of spindle rotation. As with all portable electrical appliances, regular portable appliance testing or PAT testing should be undertaken on portable electrical abrasive wheel machines. The danger of an abrasive wheel bursting is considerably greater if it's incorrectly mounted. When you're ready to install a new abrasive wheel on your machine, the wheel should first be carefully inspected. The smallest crack, chip or dent in a wheel can create problems when the wheel is used. Also reject wheels that have been in contact with water, oil or grease. Liquid absorbed into the wheel can throw it dangerously out of balance. In fact, if you can't be sure of the history of a wheel, it's good practice to reject it. If you do come across a wheel that's faulty in any way, always be sure to destroy it so that no one else can use it. The main stresses produced in an abrasive wheel tend to be greatest nearest to the central hole. Therefore, all abrasive wheels are mounted between flanges, which serve to shift the stress away from the centre. Apart from a few rare exceptions, all abrasive wheels are mounted between flanges were at least 1/3 the size of the wheel diameter. On portable machines, wheels up to 230 mm in diameter may be mounted between smaller flanges. On petrol-driven cutting-off machines, like this one, resin-bonded and reinforced cutting-off wheels may be mounted between flanges which are at least 1/4 the size of the wheel diameter. It's important to ensure that the spindle speed of the machine doesn't exceed the maximum speed marked on the wheel. Also check the spindle diameter and the diameter of the hole in the center of the wheel. These two dimensions should allow the wheel to fit snugly on the spindle, not too tight and not too loose. The machine spindle itself should be in good condition and not leaking oil or grease. And also check the guard is in good condition. The next step is to safely mount the wheel on the machine. The wheel itself and the flanges must be clean and in good condition to ensure even contact without causing any pressure points. Clean the flanges if necessary. The machine spindle should extend right through the center of the wheel to allow the outside flange to be securely fitted to the spindle. The spindle bolt should be tightened carefully by hand and then with a spanner. Some flanges require the use of a special peg spanner, but whatever is required, always use the correct tool for the job. Tighten just enough to hold the wheel firmly. Don't over tighten, as this can cause unnecessary stress within the abrasive wheel. Finally, check that the wheel turns freely by hand and check that it's free from any sideways movement. Remember, abrasive wheels rotate at high speeds, so it's imperative that the correct mounting procedures and any manufacturer's instructions are always followed. After mounting a new wheel onto a machine, always check it before using it. Make sure everyone is out of the immediate area, and if using a portable machine, hold it away from yourself and others and turn the machine on. Leave the machine on for about a minute at full speed to allow it to stabilize. Remember, if the wheel is mounted improperly or is defective in any way, it may burst or shatter. Always check a new wheel in this way before applying it to any work. If you suspect the machine or the abrasive wheel is faulty in any way, stop the machine and have it checked by a competent person. The risk of a wheel bursting is inherent in every abrasive wheel, and consequently a guard of adequate strength must always be in place to prevent injury from flying fragments. A guard has two main functions. Firstly, to contain the wheel fragments in the event of a burst, and secondly, to prevent, as far as possible, the operator coming into contact with the wheel during normal operation. Guards on portable machines should be designed to allow the guard to be adjusted so that it can be positioned directly between the machine and the operator. Never remove any guard and never operate any abrasive wheel machine if the guard is missing or defective. Report machines with defective guards to your supervisor or manager and ensure they are taken out of service. Before using any portable abrasive wheel machine, make sure that the work area is clear of tripping obstacles and that you have a safe footing. If using a portable cutting off saw like this one, due to the weight of the machine, some operators find it puts less strain on the back to position the machine between the legs when making a cut at ground level. This is particularly so when using machines with smaller diameter diamond tip blades, which require operators to bend a little lower when cutting items such as paving slabs and curbstones. On the other hand, if you're making a cut at around waist height, most operators find it more comfortable to hold the machine to one side. The most important consideration is that you remain comfortable and are always in full control of the machine before use. The correct wheel for the job, recommended by the wheel manufacturer, should be used. Cutting off wheels should be mounted only on machines designed for their use. Only the reinforced type should be used on handheld portable machines. Power should be adequate, otherwise stresses may build up and the wheel may stall and break. Pressure should be applied evenly. Care should be taken to avoid twisting or exerting pressure on the side of the wheel. The workpiece should be rigidly supported and firmly clamped. Lack of rigidity either in the wheel or in the workpiece can lead to wheel breakage. When starting cold with a cold abrasive wheel, work it slowly to allow the temperature of the wheel to increase gradually. Always try to make smooth contact with the workpiece, as excessive force will only serve to slow the speed of the wheel and overload the motor. Excessive force can also lead to the wheel bursting. Abrasive wheels get extremely hot in use and need to breathe. The pores inside the wheel normally allow this to happen, but if you grind or cut soft metals such as brass, copper or aluminium, you run the risk of clogging these pores, which could cause the wheel to overheat. Therefore, you should never grind soft metals with an abrasive wheel unless it is specifically designed for that purpose. Pedestal or bench-mounted grinding machines have the same basic requirements for mounting, handling and using abrasive wheels as other machines, but with one important additional safety feature: the work rest. The work rest serves to allow the workpiece to be positioned against the edge of the rotating abrasive wheel for more accurate and safer grinding. In particular, the work rest prevents the workpiece from being drawn into the machine and becoming caught between the wheel and the guard. The work rest should be adjusted so that it's as close as possible to the wheel without actually being in contact with it. As the wheel wears down, the work rest should be adjusted periodically to maintain this minimum clearance from the wheel. Likewise, these grinding machines are provided with adjustable transparent guards or visors that can be readily adjusted to accommodate both wheel wear and workpieces of varying sizes. Never operate one of these machines with a guard or visor removed. The inhalation of dust created both by the wheel itself and the material being worked on can be a serious problem. Dust is more than a nuisance. It gets into your clothes and hair and can be a very serious risk to your health. Cutting into any substance can generate very fine particles that can easily enter your lungs. Regular exposure to such dust have been proved to cause lung diseases, and it's often the dust you can't see that does you the most harm. Airborne dust doesn't only pose a hazard to the machine operator, it can also be a real risk to other nearby workers and even to members of the public. Therefore, always ensure that people who have no need to be in the operating area are restricted from entry. In the UK, the HSE has produced specific guidance to assist machine operators from being exposed to the effects of such dust. In the HSE Guidance Note SR21, guidance is given relating to the management of dust from fixed abrasive wheel machines using a combination of dust extraction facilities, good ventilation and regular health monitoring. The HSE Guidance Note SR21 is part of the COSH Essentials range. The use of cut-off saws to cut concrete blocks, curbs or paving can produce a lot of dust containing respirable crystalline silica, or RCS. This RCS dust scars the lining of your lungs and has been linked to breathing problems such as silicosis, emphysema and even lung cancers. In the UK, the HSE has produced a specific guidance for workers in this industry. The HSE Guidance Note CIS 54 gives specific guidance on dust control systems used with cut-off saws in the construction industry. It describes two well-established dust control techniques: local exhaust ventilation and water dust suppression. The other dust control technique is water suppression. The use of water is very effective at controlling airborne dust. The water catches the dust as soon as it is created and before it becomes airborne. Incidentally, this control measure not only protects the machine operator and others working nearby, it also provides protection to members of the public who very often walk past this type of construction work on footpaths and highways every day. All modern cut-off saws have an attachment for a water hose. The water can be supplied from a mains feed or a pressurized water bottle. A tap on the machine is used to turn the water supply on. Before using the saw, ensure that the water is feeding its way to the wheel. If using a pressurized water bottle, it's handy to have a mate pump the bottle for you while the cut is being made. Water may be used on both abrasive wheels and diamond tip blades. Diamond tip blades cut more quickly than abrasive wheels. Normally a diamond tip blade will cut a paving slab in about 1 minute. If the bottle is used, cutting a paving slab with a diamond tip blade normally requires a single pressurization of the bottle. However, abrasive wheels take longer and the tank is likely to require re-pressurizing during the cut. Using water significantly increases the life of blades and wheels, as well as prolonging the life of the motor by reducing the amount of dust that it's exposed to. Even though the dust is suppressed, it's also important that you still wear your proper personal protective equipment. To keep you dry, waterproof leggings are also useful when using water as a dust suppression method. In all hazardous working situations, the use of personal protective equipment should always be considered as a last resort. In terms of dust control, the use of LEV or water suppression are by far the most effective dust and risk control measures available and must therefore always be used in preference to PPE alone. However, the HSE Guidance Note CIS 54 states that a personal face mask with a minimum rating of FFP3 must be used as well as either of the two dust suppression techniques described. We've talked quite a bit about equipment, tools, wheels and basic safety operation of abrasive wheel machines. Let's now review some personal protective equipment that machine operators can use to help protect themselves from personal injury. Operators of abrasive wheel machines are exposed to a number of risks, including injury to the eyes from flying particles, inhalation of dust, physical injury due to flying wheel fragments, noise and vibration, general injuries to the hands and feet. Safety goggles are an essential item, but these only protect your eyes. Face shields are better as they provide full face protection. All eye protection must comply with BSEN 166 impact rating B. Noise can be controlled by wearing suitable hearing protection. Be sure that the type of hearing protection you are using offers enough protection for the level of noise present. Cutting or grinding metal can be particularly noisy, so hearing protection should always be worn when carrying out this type of work. Whether or not you are using LEV or water to control the level of airborne dust, dust masks provide essential protection for your lungs. Dust masks with an EN 149 marking and a minimum rate of FFP3 should be used. Depending on the nature of the job, especially if fumes are present, a respirator may be necessary. If this is the case, then a competent person must select the correct filter and provide operators with an appropriate fit test. Always be sure to select the proper type of mask for the job in hand and never be tempted to accept an unmarked or DIY style mask designed for general nuisance dusts only. A safety helmet may be necessary if there are overhead risks and are essential when working on construction sites. Gloves not only keep your hands warm, but can offer protection from flying particles, dirt and hot sparks. Get into the habit of wearing sturdy footwear as a matter of course, preferably fitted with protective steel toe caps. Flame-proof overalls should also be considered if your work produces a lot of hot sparks. And to prevent your clothing from easily catching fire, try also to keep it free from flammable substances such as oil, solvents or fuels. If your work does produce a lot of hot sparks and you are also required to wear a high visibility vest, then vests manufactured to EN 531D3 are preferable as they are designed to be resistant to molten metal sparks and are also flame retardant. This training film does not attempt to provide full operator training in the use of abrasive wheel machines. If the rules are followed, operating abrasive wheel machines can be a safe job. However, if you ignore the rules, it can be extremely hazardous. As with the operation of all machines and power tools, safety relies on the actions of the operator. You're the person who can make the difference to the job being safe or not. When using machines, always follow the manufacturer's operating instructions along with your company's own operating procedures.
Never use a grinding wheel without a guard. Not only does the guard help protect you from flying debris, but it ensures you don't attach a larger grinding wheel than permitted. An over-rotated wheel can explode, sending shrapnel with enough force to maim or kill.